Do you want to watch this clip then?
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
this is about 8 minutes long, but this is really important because this is talking about everyone's health and what they found with Trump talking about Tylenol and stuff. I'm going to mute myself now.
Well, before we wrap with BB, I also want her to tease her show tonight because I know I'm going to be watching it. So,
Sure.
what if Patrick, read this Q drop?
Q drop number 4,966 of November 27th, 2022. So right after the stolen midterms. What is coded in your DNA? Who put it there? Why? Mankind is repressed. We will be repressed no more. Information is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Information is power. How do you protect your DNA? There is a war for your DNA. Protect your DNA. Ascension. Q.
So, I don't want to say we, at least I always took that and leaned into more of some of the stuff they were doing to like manipulate our DNA with the obviously with the mRNA vaccines and then like 23andMe trying to catalog people.
Yeah.
But BB, however, everyone's gonna have to tune in at 8 tonight because this is not something that can be explained in 5 minutes. But BB came up with something that connects this to Tylenol, to Trump, to many, many other things. And we were on the phone yesterday. It absolutely blew my mind because it also affects me personally, hopefully in a positive way. But tease what you're going to present tonight because I think everybody needs to tune in and watch this one.
So the whole show kind of goes into attaching to that very last Q drop and the very last word that Q ever gave us, which was ascension, right? Rising above and ascending from our current circumstances into something new. So the teaser for the show, you ever feel like everybody you know is dealing with something like, let's say, autism, ADD, ADHD? How about autoimmune problems, arthritis, irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, thyroid issues? How about depression, anxiety, fatigue, apathy, emotional flatness, infertility, right? How about high blood pressure?
I like that one, by the way.
Which one?
The one where I don't have any more kids.
Yeah, the infertility one.
Yeah.
How about high blood pressure, heart disease, strokes? How about Alzheimer's, dementia rates skyrocketing? How about diabetes to the point that now the Maha report is saying that, what used to be called adult onset diabetes is now type 2 because so many children are now diabetic, right? How many kids are on SSRIs now because they're suffering from depression and anxiety? The Maha report laid it all out. And all of us are experiencing something. We know somebody who's experiencing something, but no one can actually ever explain to us why. Well, then Trump comes out with RFK and they do that press conference about Tylenol. And he point blank says on screen, Bobby wants to be careful about what he says. Me, I'm not so careful. I'll say it. Don't take Tylenol. It's bad. And that rocked me because 35 years I've been a nurse. 35 years I've thought Tylenol was good. 35 years I've been instructing my patients that it's safe and okay to use Tylenol when you're pregnant with your children across the board, right? What do
BB,
you
can I clarify
Yeah,
one thing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to
please.
interrupt you, but
No,
this is a
go.
really important point because I noticed that too. Keep in mind what she's referring to is the whole press conference. He was talking about pregnant women.
Correct.
But at this
Correct.
point, he pivoted
Correct.
and he didn't say pregnant people.
Correct.
Pregnant women. He said straight up, just don't take Tylenol. Don't do it. I just want to make that
It's
very
bad.
clear
Yeah.
to anybody.
Because
Yeah.
that's how it hit me and it wouldn't let me go. And I have to be honest and admit that, 35 years of being indoctrinated in the medical industrial complex, I came right up against my own cognitive dissonance, right? My whole I'm going to just dismiss that because that's bullshit, right? But I couldn't. Uh-huh.
I want to ask, Tylenol is a brand name, right? Are we talking about acetaminophen? Or are we
Acetaminophen.
talking about the company that is Tylenol?
Okay, so every drug that you take has a brand name and a generic name. When it's still on patent, it will be known as its brand name, like Tylenol. When that patent wears off and now you can have generics of the same medication, it will go by its generic name, acetaminophen. And in that same press conference, Trump did what Trump does so beautifully is he pretends that he's a ding dong. How do you, am I doing this right? Acetaminophen,
It
right?
was one of his clumsier attempts to sound like
Oh,
a dumbass.
yes.
And I was just
And
like,
I'm like, that's Art of War right there, baby. I
yeah,
read
but
your
it was
book.
like clumsy, really
Yeah.
making sure that those of us who had a functioning brain cell knew that he was completely full of shit.
Absolutely, Patrick.
Aceta,
Absolutely.
aceta. What's that word? Ugh.
Yeah, right. But all that did was bring more attention to what they were talking about, right? But the fact that he said off, that pivot that you're talking about, Dave, don't take Tylenol, it's bad. I go digging. I start digging. I discovered this little gene called the MTHFR gene. Yeah, put it out on paper. It looks exactly like it looks, like the curse word, the MFR gene. And what I found absolutely blew my mind.
I
So
started taking methylated folate the next day.
turns out in the late 90s, our government changed our food supply in a way that half of the country can't process. And then they told us all that Tylenol was safe, while Tylenol was draining the one molecule that half of us need to detox and think clearly. And then over the subsequent decades, what did they do? They increased, they changed the food pyramid and told us eat 6 to 12 servings of grain while they sprayed this all over our grains. And then then they told pregnant women, you need to take this while you're pregnant so your babies don't get neural tube defects. And then they increased all the processed food, adding additives and chemicals. And then they started cloud seeding and spraying heavy metals into the sky, and all the food dyes and the plastics and the fluoride in the water were inundated with toxins, and half of us can't clear them because of this gene mutation that they kept from us. Go back to that press conference that Trump and RFK did. At the very beginning, the very first thing that Trump says, I've been waiting 20 years for this meeting. And I'm like, 20 years? Well, 20 years, 20 years. I'm not very good at math, but that takes us to 2005. Guess what was going on in 2005 that none of us knew about? They were releasing toxicology reports on Tylenol reducing glutathione. They were talking about this gene variant and how it was affecting our ability to detox. And that was all kept from us. 2005, 20 years ago. So anyway, I think that RFK and Trump knew this. I think they've known this, and I think that this potentially is going to be the dot that connects all of this: our chronic illness epidemic, the autism. We're going to connect all the dots tonight, 8 p.m. Doses of Deception.
The only rationale would be that they had to go up against the system and take control of the system before they could expose it, right? Right.
Yeah, one, yeah.
Middlemen.
But I think that what we are seeing, and again, to tie this all back to the beginning of what we were talking about with Flynn and that whole thing that we attended, right? And this whole need for the independent media ground game. Okay. So there's the public, and the public is going to respond to things much the same way that I think initially I responded when I heard Tylenol. What do you mean Tylenol? Give me a
Right.
break. It's Tylenol. We've been using Tylenol for years. What do you mean Tylenol is bad? Right. But the average person isn't going to stop and take a little inventory, right? And go, oh, whoa. What are you trying to say to me here? Is it possible that maybe I was wrong in my understanding? The average person is just going to dismiss that new information because that's what cognitive dissonance does. This, what you're telling me, bucks up against my firmly held beliefs, so I'm going to dismiss you. But the way that Trump communicates, he communicates in such a way that those of us that are awake and paying attention, he gives us just enough of a crumb that it makes people like me, who got taught how to research by the Q team, to go, I think I'm going to go dig on this. And then we discover, and then what are we supposed to do with this information? Am I supposed to just sit on this and take my methylated vitamins and get well myself? No, I'm supposed to share it. And then we're supposed to share it. And then we begin the groundswell that forces the conversation on the public stage. By the way, I went and got tested. I have the gene mutation. I will be walking the audience through my lab values, what I found. Yeah.
Wow.
With that, but you get the gist. And obviously, she did almost 3-hour show on it, going right into it last night.
Yeah, I just retweeted it. Now I understand why Dave from News Treason reached out to us about Ethan Lucas's glutathione B12 D3 supplement. I mean, it's
Syrona.
right. Syrona, exactly. Wow, that's incredible.
It really is the key.
How to cleanse the body after vaccination.
To cleanse the body after vaccination, one must first understand the magnitude of what has been injected. Beyond the surface ingredients, hidden adjuvants like aluminum salts, graphene oxide, polyethylene glycol, and undisclosed nanotechnologies infiltrate the body, embedding themselves into tissues, crossing the blood-brain barrier, and hijacking cellular processes. First, targeted detoxification of heavy metals becomes critical. Glutathione, the master detoxifier, must be replenished aggressively, as vaccination depletes it intentionally to leave the immune system vulnerable. Intravenous or liposomal forms ensure direct cellular absorption, bypassing digestive sabotage.
Elixir is here now and completely disrupting the health supplement market. Nothing else out there allows you to transform your daily routine with the power quartet of our proprietary stasis nanotechnology glutathione, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, and MCT oil. Imagine starting your day feeling energized, focused, detoxed, light, vibrant, and ready to conquer anything. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant, fighting off those nasty free radicals and detoxing you from toxins like heavy metals, microplastics, and forever chemicals. It has also been shown to help your body restore hair color and helps with memory and learning. And it helps maintain healthy skin and processes that reduce the signs of aging and degeneration. Elixir gives you the best nutritional foundation you can find in one supplement. The performance boost and results you gain from Elixir are far superior to any other supplement currently on the market. This is the holy grail of singular supplements today. With our advanced proprietary stasis nanotechnology, the vital nutrients in our Elixir formula are absorbed immediately in the mouth, bypassing the hostile digestive tract, which gives you the boost you need, right when you need it. So why wait?